What's up, Охотников? Bananera y pasera. Ursu? Is that you in the dark? Is that a dark bear in the car? What's up, Ursu? Tahusu, maybe you start in Russian a little bit? You a little bit introduce it in Russian. Idan is gonna take him a few minutes. He will do compra. He will buy the game.
Yeah, the story about Mestre Daniel.
Yeah, but say in Russian. It's okay. Speak in Russian.
Окей. Я не знаю, многие ли знакомы с Месtre Даниэлем. Наверняка те, кто бывали в Израиле, могли видеть его на роде, сидящим рядышком с батареей, и могли наблюдать, и, может быть, даже поначалу не понимать, что это за мужичок такой сидит, и Месtre Идан, Месtre Куэка и другие капуэристы очень уважительно с ним, к нему относятся, что-то помогает ему, может быть, даже в игру его берут. И действительно, последние 10 лет он тяжело болел. Но у меня о нем очень теплые воспоминания остались, когда я впервые побывал с ним. Во-первых, он тот, кто принимал тест с Беримбау на курсе инструкторов. На курс инструкторов, чтобы закончить этот курс инструкторов в Израиле, тебе нужно пройти тест. И один из тестов был Беримбау. И Месси Даниэль как раз принимал у меня этот тест, экзамен. И до этого экзамена у меня, честно говоря, не очень получалось петь ладаи. Я все время не попадал, и Ревиву помогал мне в этом. Все время подходил к нему: Ревиву, помоги мне. Он такой: да нет, ты не вступаешь, ты вступаешь неправильно. И, в общем, я тренировался, и, конечно же, на экзамене ложанул. И Месси Даниэль все это, конечно, просек, говорит: давай еще раз, Андрей, давай еще раз. То есть дал мне немножечко такой шанс исправить. А потом, в дальнейшем, Месси Даниэль, он жил на севере Израиля, и большую площадь разных таких школы его звали на всякие мероприятия показательные, шоу капуэра. И частенько он пользовался разными капуэристами со всего Израиля. И один раз он позвал меня, Ревиву, Пиноккио, и мы вместе поехали помогать ему на этом шоу. Было очень интересно. Я впервые столкнулся с тем, как Месси Даниэль рассказывает историю о капуэре, и мы должны были на фоне показывать определенные движения. Допустим, он начинал рассказывать про африканскую культуру, и мы должны были изображать танец африканский, и как постепенно из африканского танца это превращалось в капуэр. И вот мы таким вот костяком частенько выезжали и помогали им. Естественно, частенько встречал его и на мероприятиях. Вот сейчас мне вспомнилось один мастер-класс по июне, который Месси Даниэль давал. И там очень интересные мысли, которые он делился. Про экспрессию, про то, как надо двигаться в июне. Очень было интересно. Я до сих пор помню этот класс. В общем. Вот.
Nice. Did somebody here have a chance to have some experience with Mestre Daniel? Somebody remember him from the beginning, from the first seminars? The truth is that when you guys already started to connect a little bit to Israel, he was already, I think, starting a little bit to disconnect. But maybe some of you remember. Somebody want to share some experience from Caesarea, from maybe you met him somewhere?
My first event in Israel was in 2008. I played with him when I received my yellow belt. Thanks to Greg.
Amazing. So, guys, when we... Somebody else?
В Израиле мы много разговаривали с ним. Он очень интересно рассказывал.
Yeah.
Очень умный был.
We communicated with him a lot first time at Israel. He told us a lot about history of capoeira in Israel, about his work.
Nice, nice. When we a little bit, yeah, when we Pintora, beautiful picture. When we try to talk about the history of the masters, it's not like when we are, you know, preparing for some test in the school. We don't care so much about the facts. We want to feel and understand a little bit how this person saw the world. So that's why we tell these stories, so we remember their, you know, their unique perspective. And we have a we have a surprise guest coming to the Hoda today, joining us. Mestre Idan wants to say hello to you guys. He's here. Do you hear us, Idan? Let's see if his earphones are gonna connect. שומע אותנו, עידן? So yesterday was a very very beautiful way, a beautiful how do you say inteiro? How do you say this? Funeral, where so many people that capoeira touched over the years came. It's like this Bruce Lee kind of a funeral, you know, like so many people that do capoeira for many years, so many martial artists that started with Mestre Daniel. So it was a very nice moment. Idan, can you hear us? Can you speak? I think he doesn't hear us. Let me write him. We don't hear you, Idan. אתה צריך באייפון לחבר כן, הנה, yes. Look how big Liu is. Remember baby Liu? Do you remember baby Liu? Opa.
Yes, yes.
Hello,
Can you hear me?
Idan. Welcome.
I needed my son to help me with the technology. What a shame.
Idan,
Oh,
everybody here misses you so much. And
oh, I
Hello,
miss them.
Mestre.
you can see
Oh,
some faces
Tausu.
on your phone. If you move a little bit, you're gonna see some friends.
Yes, I see everybody. Pomba, yeah, I see everybody. Wow, nice guys. I'm so happy I had a chance to meet some of you in the summer before we had the war here. We had the event and Pomba and Gafanyot came, and I was so emotional with this visit. I was so happy, so happy. Now we can meet, maybe in Switzerland, somewhere natural.
Sure.
Natural. Yeah, it's crazy. The world is crazy. If you told me a year ago that there's gonna be war here in Israel, like I wouldn't believe you. War anywhere in the world, you know. I thought only the Russian crazy they make war. All the Russians crazy. War all
Idan, I
over.
started to tell them a little bit. The truth is that some of the older instructors met Mestre Daniel a few times in Quesaria, but I think not so many people know like the background story. And yesterday, even when we were speaking, we were sort of reminding each other a little bit. Do you wanna a little bit tell the story of? I think and they haven't heard it maybe in over 10 years. A little bit of
Yeah.
Daniel's beginning story.
Yeah, so that going back to the war, so the most awful war in Israel was in 73. My father participated, and they all came out of this war fucked up because
Mine
it
also.
was like, yeah, your father also, like it was like the end. They felt the end. And anyway, in the last moment, they saved the country. But anyway, Daniel, that was such a sensitive artist, such a personality, you know. He was an artist and he studied art. And when the war ended, he was a soldier, artillery. And then he said, "Oh, I'm gonna go away. I'm not gonna stay in this country." And he went to the States, to San Francisco, and you know, got into the hippie scene, Bob Marley shows, and all the big festivals and that of that days, you know. Anyway, he worked mostly as a carpenter, like an artist carpenter. And then he met capoeira there. I don't remember exactly how he met capoeira, but he met the capoeira and he trained with few different masters. He trained with Perguisa, who was a student of Bimbal, and at that time he was like Senzala style, very rough style, and he was quite good. And he started capoeira 36 years old. Imagine, 36 years old he started, and he became really good. When a good berimbau player, good singer, good player. You know, for the age, I met him when he was 43, I think, 45, something like this. And he was like doing really nice parafuso, esdobrado, macaco, everything he was doing, basic things he was doing really, really nice. I was like surprised that masters in his age in Brazil weren't as fit as him, you know, it was interesting. Anyway, then he married one of the students there. Her name was Erin. Her nickname was Serea. She was a beautiful, beautiful blonde hair, very, very good capoeirista, very strong. And then they went together to live in Brazil in a place called Trancoso. Trancoso is one of the most peaceful places in Brazil. It's like a fisherman village in south of Bahia. Most people know Real da Ajuda, and so it's like half an hour, 45 minutes into the jungle to the other side of the beach. Anyway, a beautiful, beautiful place. In that time, there weren't any foreigners there, and he made his own house and the restaurant. And then in the middle of the building of the restaurant, he ran out of money and said, okay, I'm going to go to Israel, earn some money and come back. And you know, and then he started training with his beautiful wife. She was such a good capoeirista. They were amazing together. They were like a magnet. And they were playing capoeira in the park in Tel Aviv, and people started, you know, asking them, what is it? And Daniel was such a communicative, how to say, he was like a person that really easy to connect with. He would love to talk with you, you know, he would love to spend time and talk with everybody and explain what capoeira is. And you know, you guys also in Moscow had the pleasure to be pioneers in the art also, so you know what I mean. It's a privilege to be a pioneer. It's a huge privilege to tell people what capoeira is. Anyway, he enjoyed it so much, and he started to join people around him to start training with him. And I met him after 3 months that he was teaching. I met him and was one of his first students. And they were teaching together, him and his wife, Erin. At that time, I was a soldier, so I was Saturday morning. That was the time that he was teaching. Anyway, he was more than like an artist than like a capoeira teacher. You know what I mean? Not everybody is meant to be a capoeira teacher. He was more like an artist. He approached it more like an artist. He didn't know what to do with 20 students or 30 students. not in terms of methodic, not in terms of handling how to charge money, and he wasn't into it. He was just wanted to do the art. That's what's he didn't even. I don't think that ever he felt like he was a capoeira teacher. He was mostly teaching capoeira all his life, his later life, late life. But I don't think he saw himself like a capoeirista. And you know something, like a teacher. He saw himself like a capoeirista, but not like a teacher. And in this way, he reminds me a lot like Cueca. Although Cueca is very methodical and very good in building groups and everything, but Cueca is very obvious that first he see himself like a capoeirista and then like a capoeira teacher. And when my student meet him, they always say it. They say, "Oh, Cueca is first. You see that he's a capoeirista, and then he's a teacher." But Daniel, he wasn't interested really in being a teacher. He was more into the art, and he was like the kind of artist that would pay attention to every small detail. Like the lights of the academy, if it's good for the Hoda, and how you dress, and really small things, how the berimbau look like, and the tabaki and the instruments, and things like art, more like the art behind of it. He wasn't like a great berimbau player like we know today, people that are doing crazy stuff. And if he was today in the Hoda, I think he was really upset with my Hoda that we all do a lot of variations on the berimbau. He wouldn't like it at all, at all, at all. He would say, "You all do really nice tricks, but you don't know the basic." Because it was more like the feel of the rhythm, not how many tricks you can do in 1 minute. It was more like what kind of feel you can put into it. It's not and the choru and the singer. It was soft. Like his style was like, if you know Boca Rica and Bigodinho CD, that they are really relaxed, like laid back, like reggae thing. That was his style. And if you would shout like I used to shout a lot in the Hoda, like a padrão thing, it was like, no, 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 it done. It's maybe they like it, but it's totally not the thing. So uh, he was like, he had his truth. He knew exactly what he wants from capoeira, but he wasn't like a great teacher in the sense of how to make it happen, and how to, that everybody would love it. And he was the perfect teacher to teach 3 or 4 or 5 students, but awful teacher to teach 30. And this is also something like the old style of teaching of capoeira, that if you really want to learn from him, you cannot learn it from 2 hours in a week. You have to spend 6 hours a day, and to just play with him the berimbau, and listen to the details, and listen, and we would we would teach you, today we're going to train this kind of au and armada, and you would do only these 2 movements, and only if you were really dedicated to the art, he wouldn't sell you hot dogs. The class would be, really what the art is. So, and not everybody have the taste for the art. So that's the kind of teacher was Daniel. And I was so thirsty. I wanted to drink everything. So I would spend hour and hours with him, listening to his stories. His stories would be so nice. He was such a romantic capoeirista. He would give you from his stories, just listening for his stories about the masters, different styles, and what happened in this order and that order and that order, you fall in love with capoeira and how capoeirista should walk and how he should dress and how it should behave and how, and these things really caught me. This was his biggest influence on me, was with the stories, what capoeira is and what capoeirista is, and what the community of capoeira. Another thing is he came from the Bay Area. The Bay Area is like the birth of the liberal world, and he came with some very progressive ideas that were very interesting. I was talking about it with Kwekat, because on the one hand he had this liberal progressive ideas, on the other hand he was like really influenced by the capoeira masters that were like, ego trip a little bit in the States, and so it was a very interesting mixture. Him himself, he never called himself a master. He never presented himself like, I'm a contramaestre or professor. Or he would say, Daniel, that's it. I'm Daniel. What's your, no, just call me Daniel. But the students, it's interesting. The students needed a master. They wanted him. They would call him Mestre, because they sometimes, the students is the one who needs the master, not the master needs to be the master. You know what I mean? So we liked to call him master, and even though he never called himself master or wrote on his t-shirt like or whatever, like his students would write Mestre Daniel, but he would call himself just Daniel, or even not even mention his name. Something interesting. He was so humble, so humble. Part of it, I think, because he never saw himself like, I'm a capoeira teacher. No, I'm just a capoeirista. And it's happened that I'm teaching capoeira. It's happened to him. It just happened that he was in the right moment, in the right place, and people needed his capoeira. And so, yeah, it was interesting. I'm trying to remember like some of his stories, just something that just got into my mind, that he all the time would, when I was training his sequences, he would tell me, Kweka, how do you say Tzemar Geffen in English or in Russian,
This cotton, this cotton,
Cotton candy.
Vata. Vata.
vata, cotton.
Vata. Imagine you have Vata that I'm gonna do like, and you just go on the ground like as if you're not touching the ground. You just foo. I'm doing foo on you, and you move. It's something I will train, and he will tell me. Imagine I do when you have to move. Like a cotton thing. That's how he would teach me a lot with imagination. Imagine you are, and like Bruce Lee would say, be water. So this kind of things. I am trying to remember now things. Like one of the most beautiful songs I learned from him is he would sing it so nice. It was like era hora grande, ai meu Deus, quando eu cheguei na Bahia. Era hora grande, ai meu Deus, quando eu cheguei na Bahia, procurando a nega Rosa, filha da Rosa Maria. Procurando a nega Rosa, filha da Rosa Maria. Todo mundo viu a Rosa, sou eu mesmo que eu não vi. Todo mundo viu a ousa, sou eu mesmo que eu não vi. He would, like, there's many variations of this song, but the way he sing it is different. Like he would call it very like he would finish up and or this the student finish down. It's very different, like from what Suasuna recorded or other masters recorded. It was really nice. I don't know where he landed like this, but it was really nice. Era hora grande, ai meu Deus, quando eu cheguei na Bahia. Era hora grande, ai meu Deus, quando eu cheguei na Bahia. Procurando a nega Rosa, filha da Rosa Maria. E todo mundo. Procurando a nega Rosa, filha da Rosa Maria. Todo mundo viu a rosa, sou eu mesmo que eu não vi. Todo mundo viu a rosa, sou eu mesmo que eu não via. A rosa tava no bom fim, rezando por mim, orando por ti, mas rezando por mim. And the truth is, he would never finish like this. He would continue like from the beginning of the song. Later on, he learned from Suasuna that he finished it like a corrido. Was really nice. Yeah. Oh, Deus neve. A lua.
Diga.
הלו ליאור, מה נשמע נבי?
מה קורה? הוא שומע אותי? כן, כן.
שומעים אותך, שומעים.
מעניינים. טובה.
נביל!
שלום, שלום, שלום. חזק? כן, יאללה, נתקדם. ביי, תהנו, לילה טוב.
טוב. So, today I was singing like he really like to one of the thing was that he was really important for him is this the location you choose for the hoda. Like if how should be the gym look like for a good hoda, and most important, if you do a hoda outside of the gym, where are you gonna do it? The location, you know, and he loved to do the hoda in the market. And there were so many people that when we used to do the hoda in the market, the police would come because the hoda would block all the entrance for the market, and like people couldn't move. And then he would love to sing this song that if you sing it in Brazil, I think you don't stay alive. But here in Israel, they don't. So it goes like, vamos quebrar coquinho enquanto a polícia não vem. Quando a polícia chegar, quebra a polícia também, oiê, quebra a polícia também, lá, lá, quebra a polícia também, lele, quebra a polícia também. And he was so happy with himself that he's like such a
rebel.
evolution. Yeah. And the police will come, and we knew, okay, the police is coming. And it was singing like, vamos quebrar coquinho. It's interesting. He wouldn't sing a lot of songs, you know. I think it's like one time I came to him and tried to teach him maybe something from Miujinho. I don't remember what was. I learned this Miujinho sequence or something, and he told me something, you know, very humble. Look, he's my teacher, and he's the master, and he told me, Dan, you don't teach an old dog a new trick. And I was like, okay. I was like, oh, you know, I was surprised, you know, because I was so in a hunger to learn capoeira. I thought maybe I learned this sequence, he would like to learn it also, but he would stay with his old songs, you know, and he would try to perfect it or to make another variation for the same song. And he, although sometimes he did come with a new song, or maybe I thought it was a new song, but actually it was like just so old that I never heard it before. But it's so humble to come to a student and tell him like to tell him, oh, I'm not into it. It's like, don't try to teach me these things. I'm not interested. It's very, very humble. And in the first moment, I was like shocked. And when I got older, first I understood you cannot learn everything in capoeira. You cannot learn everything. I cannot sing all the songs that my students sings. I should be happy they learn different songs that we all together can complete a very different order, very unique order that people bring different songs to this order. So I do encourage them, everybody, to learn different things, different movements, different jinga, different songs. But I acknowledge it's very frustrating if you try to all the time to be ahead of your students. Capoeira is so big, you cannot learn everything. Relax. You know, there was a moment that I had to go there to that moment that Daniel told me, oh, don't ask me to learn this thing, you know. And I came back to this moment and I told him, so if it was okay for Daniel, it can be okay for me also. I don't have to know everything in capoeira. I cannot do everything in capoeira. I better relax and do what I enjoy to do, sing the songs that I enjoy. If there's something that I really want to learn, I'm gonna learn it. But I'm not gonna learn every song there is in capoeira, or every sequence, or every movement, or you know. And I think this is something I want to share with you, you know, because you teach already and you into capoeira and you're gonna have students and you're gonna get this barrier that you are gonna have to decide, and I hope you will decide right, because you can tell your students, oh, this song is not good, or you can tell your students, no, we sing only these songs, that these are the songs of the group or something, or you can say, oh, great, continue singing, I'm gonna sing different songs. It's good for you to be relaxed and say, I don't have to be in a competition. Yeah, I'm out of the competition, and also to make space for your students or colleagues to to have their own journey and learn their own songs, own sequences, own, you know, that's great. Be able to tell them that's great, that's wonderful, continue, I admire it. You know, I don't have to learn it. I'm not gonna learn it. I'm gonna not gonna, but it's good you do it. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I try to remember things.
Amazing, Idan. That was the master class. Thank
You know,
you.
that's there's even if I have a lot of influence from Mestre Daniel that sometimes because when you are students of someone, sometimes you grew up into things, you know, and only when you miss these things, you see that you learned it. Like I'll go to different Hoda, to different place, and I'll see some kind of behavior that is not common, and then I'll go back to my academy and say, "Whoa, good! My teacher taught me this way, you know, or something like this, you know." So sometimes I do things in a way, but I don't remember that Daniel taught me them, you know. And only when I see, it takes me a lot of time to understand that these things I got from him, you know. And that's interesting. And in your journey, like for you're gonna in your life, you also like from your parents, good things and also bad things, you know. Sometimes it takes you half of your life to realize that something you're doing, good or not good or bad, you got from your parents, you know. And then no, because you just do it because you know you don't know another way. Anyway, guys, good to see you, and I hope we meet soon. And I wish you a lot of good capoeira, great capoeira, and a lot of safe to you and all my friends, you know. And if you have any,
Let's make a wish in our hearts that by the end of 2024 we get to meet each other somewhere. Let's see. Let's make the wish.
yeah,
You know, we have 11 months ahead of us. I know it doesn't look optimistic, but 11 months is a long time, right? So let's,
and we have to say peace also, peace on the planet.
yeah.
Okay, guys,
Thank
thank you very
Idan.
much. I love it. I love you all, guys.
Thank you,
Thank
Mestre.
you. Thank you.
תודה, עידן.
Love.
What a nice story, Mestre.
Beautiful. You see, the best lessons are always surprise, last moment, not planned. What can we say? Somebody wants to add something after this? Malinki, Brasilia. How are you guys? Coringa, hello. How's the winter? Hard? Long, dark, and hard, or normal? Normal.
Normal.
Well, guys, that's it. It's a nice recording. I think we got a very nice lesson here. There's a lot of little things there we can go over. You know what they really blows my mind? That Mestre Daniel started at age 36. Imagine that, to start at age 36 and look at the impact. All of the Kapor in Israel, a lot of Russia, India, Canada. Look how much impact from somebody that started at age 36. Sometimes we get students at age 21, 22. They think they're too old already. Yeah, I'm too old to start capoeira. Wow. And like Idan said, he didn't even want to teach. Imagine if he was trying. If he did all that without trying. Maybe we should try less, yes? Maybe we should try not to try. Gafa, Tahusu, somebody want to say something?
Я думаю, спасибо всем, кто собрался сегодня.
Yes.
Было приятно послушать историю от Месtre Идана о Месtre Даниэле.
We are going to meet hopefully in May, right? But before that, on the 22nd or 23rd of March is the International Happiness Day, and I'm gonna ask you guys, whoever wants to do a Hoda in his city, on that day, it's gonna be some project. I'm gonna send you all the information, but it will be amazing if you can do a few nice Hodas in the big cities, so that we can show. We're gonna start from Japan, Hoda starting across the world, Russia, Israel, Europe, Brazil, all the way to San Francisco, Hawaii. From Japan to Hawaii, we're gonna have Hodas on one day. Trying to send a wave of energy through the world. Nobody's gonna say anything, right? So that's it, my friends. Talk to you soon. By the way, I'm for the next probably 10 days, I'm in this time zone. So if anybody wants to speak, it's a little bit easier to speak with the times. I'm pretty free in the mornings. Okay? So reach out to me if you have any questions or something. Ashe, beijo.
Thank you, Mestre Cueca.